Raffles has a very interesting program because our foundation is relatively strong. We teach them everything from the basics. We encourage our students to think out of the box, to let go. It's okay to make mistakes because we're here to guide them. We encourage them to try and manipulate fabric on the dress form, being innovative, experimentation. Of course, a lot of it also happens to be tied up with the kind of research that they do. It's not just about designing and being very, unique and creative. Yes, we allow you to do all that, but it's also about how well can you translate your designs to be market ready and ready for the industry. Hi, my name is Miriam Varghese. I'm originally from India. I have a master's degree in textiles and clothing, and I have an additional advanced diploma and teacher's training in apparel design, and it's from a premier institution in India, which is a design college by itself. So I've been in Thailand for quite some time. I worked in the industry in India, in the Middle East, did some freelancing here in Thailand, and then I've been working and joined Raffles, and now committed to teaching at Raffles for the past 17 years. So Raffles has a very interesting program because our foundation is relatively strong. We teach them everything from the basics, and a lot of our students come here without any knowledge of drawing, any knowledge of how to threadle a sewing machine. They've not even seen a sewing machine before. And what's unique about our program is we train our students to be geared to the industry. It's not just about designing and being very, unique and creative. Yes, we allow you to do all that, but it's also about how well can you translate your designs to be market ready and ready for the industry. Another thing what we like to do at Raffles is that within the program itself, we like our students to express themselves. We give them the opportunity to express their ideas and express it freely, whether it is drawing, whether it's mood boards, however wish they want to create their designs. And when they get into their senior terms, what we'd like to do is invite the industry to come into the classroom. So the students then get a kind of a taste of what happens when dealing with a client, So they have limitations to budget, they have limitations to time and the kind of fabrics or colors. All these things what the client wants, because ultimately they have to understand how it works when they go out into the market and deal with clients. So that's what is unique about our program. I have traveled quite a bit, extensively in India and even outside. And on my travels, I've collected textiles over a period of a couple of decades, actually, because I've been collecting even when I was studying. And I've been lucky, I guess, because from India, from different parts of the country, you will find that each state has its own distinctive colors, own distinctive patterns, and a traditional motif that are used. So I want to show you some of the things here that I've picked up, and most of these items come from flea markets because I find they are the best places to scour to get a very unique textiles which are ancient. So you have the old system of working, and nothing is made or mass produced and doesn't lose its identity in that manner. So here is a very old, it's a mirror work blouse worn by tribals in India. And what it does is that it has traditional colors, but I over-dyed the whole piece to make it have another kind of a look. So this is what I do. I would probably collect textiles and give it my own little twist. So this is quite old and literally made from little pieces of fabric that are joined together, and the ladies would sit and embroider. It's hand embroidered. This is again another hand embroidered piece, also from another part of India, and you can see the patches that are used in the reverse for putting the whole blouse together. Here is a skirt, and for some reason the traditional colors are not used here, and I liked it for the brilliance of the colors that I use, and essentially the way the colors, the bright colors, are put together, and yet it looks perfect, you know. So all hand embroidered, and here is actually a dowry, a piece of garment given to young girls from the northern part of India called Punjab. And the women in the family would start embroidering something like this to be given to a girl when she gets married. So it goes into her dowry. And this is all hand embroidered. There is no particular pattern. There is no tracing of the pattern. They count the threads and they will embroider according to the number of threads that are there in one particular area. So this is all from India. And then when I went to Kyoto in Japan, we did take our students there. And that's also another thing we do, where we take our Raffles students on art appreciation trips outside of the country. So they're able to get an experience of what different countries do for their textiles. So we took them to an obi weaving place. They also make kimonos and weave and dye kimonos there. And I picked up some very, very unique pieces in obis, which is the belt that the women wear, and the men actually. So this is all from Kyoto. And I also got some yardage, which is rolled like this and kept very tidy. And you can see the reverse pattern here, which is beautiful gold and silk threads that are used to weave this obi. And you'll find the same gold here being used in the threads. I also got some tie-dye from the flea market in Kyoto. And these are just very, very small pieces, but it's so minute, the tie-dye, and it takes a lot of expertise to do such minute tie-dye. And you can see the pattern very clearly, and I've left it and not ironed it out, because leaving it like this shows the uniqueness and the beauty of the pattern. So I have two of those. I have from Korea some hand embroidered traditional belt. This is done using silk threads on silk. That's not from a flea market. And then I have this beautiful antique kimono, which is completely hand sewn together. There's no use of the sewing machine. And again, this is also tie-dyed, and you can see the beautiful pattern that they have incorporated. I took it apart because I want to see how it's made, and it's woven by using tiny, very, very thin silk thread to sew the lining up and the pieces together. It's beautiful. This is a kind of a stole. It's hand embroidered. It's from the southern part of India. And what's unique about this embroidery is that the right side of the embroidery is exactly like the wrong side of the embroidery. Of course, you have a little bit of knots and extra sewing there, but a little bit of threads being shown. But it's very difficult to do the pattern because the right side and the wrong side are identical. So these are some of the textiles, and probably I have a whole lot more. I couldn't bring everything here today, but at some point I think I will have an exhibition just to show all the unique textiles that I do in fact own. And I take great pride in that. So what we really like our students to develop their skills in are to be innovative and creative. And that can come only with a lot of experimentation. So we encourage our students to think out of the box, to let go. It's okay to make mistakes because we're here to guide them. And we like them to experiment, whether it's fabrics, whether it's colors, whether it's dyes. They develop their skills in understanding textiles and what fibers work well and what fabrics work well with different other kind of fabrics and how to combine colors. They also understand more about printing, digital printing, laser cutting, and also about dyeing, which is really essential. So a lot of things we encourage them to try and manipulate fabric on the dress form, try and do different kinds of sewing processes. A lot of it is being innovative, experimentation. Of course, a lot of it also happens to be tied up with the kind of research that they do. So these are some of the things that we encourage our students, and we guide them to enhance their skills when they first come in, and we gear up that towards the collections that they're going to ultimately design.